Today is June 1st, 2016, and there's a subject that I want to address. I've often talked about how the rest of the world tries to steal land from Israel, but now I want to address the government of Israel, the politicians, the leaders. I don't know if I'm going to quote any scriptures or not. I don't really think it's necessary to, because many of these guys know the scripture. They know that the Holy Land is not something that they can bargain with. In fact, they also know about Joshua 1, verses 1 through 4. That talks about the real, true borders of Israel, what they're supposed to be. And any fifth grader can look at a map and can properly locate every border of Eretz Israel. Yet, politicians in Israel think that they can undermine the words of Jehovah, to trade Jehovah's land for peace. People who do these things are delusional at best, are treasonous criminals at worst. And it seems that bad things happen to politicians in Israel who do these things. One need look no further than Ariel Sharon, or even the man's name slips my mind. I guess he's so insignificant. The one who had his life taken soon after a plot to hand over land. It appears, according to stories that I've read, certain Jews called for a curse to come down upon both of these individuals. I'm going to try to see if I can look up this name. Yes, Yitzhak Rabin. Now, so some would say, oh Henry, well, you are standing with those who were for his assassination. I stand with those who the politicians ripped out of their homes, ripped away from the land that rightfully belonged to them. That's who I stand with. These crooked politicians, they come and they go, and some of them go faster than was intended because of their evil deeds. Now, as soon as you think that Israel would have some kind of a new right-wing government, the first thing that comes out of their mouths is two-state solution. The term two-state solution, when it comes to Israel and the Arabs, is a falsehood. It is deceitful. It is satanic. It is serpentine. It is devilish. To even say such things in such a manner as the people would even could take you seriously is way beyond criminal. As a leader of Israel, it is way beyond criminal. What in the world do you folks in the Israeli government think is going to happen when the Messianic era, or when the call to bring back all Israel begins and the annexation of all the land promised to Joshua begins? What do you think is going to happen to you? You stand in the way of the kingdom. You won't let anyone in from the outside who want to come in, and you may find yourselves thrown out yourselves because of this. There are millions and millions and millions of us waiting for you to do the right thing. You have turned your backs on us that are waiting for you to open up that land. Why? Do you hate your brethren living abroad? Do you think that maybe you will lose your political clout if the rest of us came home? Maybe you will lose your money supply. Maybe you'll be forced to work for a living, because maybe these folks out here in the nether regions of the world would never vote for you to begin with. Maybe you don't want Messiah the King to come, because maybe Messiah the King would find you unworthy. We can't have Messiah the King coming now, could we? I mean, he might be a threat. He might not like you. He might tell you to go tend sheep. So instead, you kick your neighbors, your brethren, off of the promised land. And give it to the enemy. Land that may not be given away. Land that eternally belongs to Jehovah. Land that you have no authority to bargain with. How will any of you stand before Messiah when he comes? When you're forced to give an accounting for what you've done. You better be careful, because the people who are out in the four winds, north, south, east, and west, who are being forced to wait because of you, will all be brought in. And those of you who stood in their way will be thrown out. And you will receive nothing. I urge all the folks in the Israeli government to take heed and beware. This is not a joke. Trading land for peace is unacceptable, and it might even be unforgivable.